Set. Blue 60.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Back to throw. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Taylor now returning it. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
Let's get off. Let's get off the field, G. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Check. Check hot route. Hot.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Nothing can stop him. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
One set. Mike 51. I got it. Watch tight end. Tight right.
Now on second and 13. Dobbs. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. Third down here.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Never ideal conditions in the snow for a kicker, but the first test on the opening drive, he passed it.
He certainly did. You know what the unit told me was their biggest issue playing in the snow? You just worry about something getting in your eye as the ball is snapped, and then you might miss it, and there goes 3 points off the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it second and 12.
260. Coming to you.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So third and long. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. To return is Taylor. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Back. Safe. Check 99.
Taylor. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check nickel. Hey, look, 3. Slam. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Now a give right side. Swift. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
At the Lions' 36-yard line.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Dobbs. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Here's Dobbs to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Black. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards, the final tally.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
On the double.
Mike 51. Rip right.
Hey, exit. Pilot, 64. Weak.
Boy 51. I'm trying to collect. Mike 51. Let's go, baby. Turnover. Get that ball.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete.
The first down pass. Intended for number 88. Incomplete. Darius Slay on the coverage.
Ready.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Five.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 10-0 to score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford flush to his right. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it with Johnson, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Open man is Galladay, complete. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand.
Here we go. Man, I got you.
To throw from his end zone. Dobbs. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
This time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On the return, here's Agnew. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first down carry here for Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Ty Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
He's got a man complete. It's a gain of 34. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here, and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Miles Jack with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. That one good for 26 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their play block. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They go to the ground again with Taylor. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Let's get it. Ready up to Mike. 51 to Mike. That's it. Now, go. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. In your face.
On 3rd down, Dobbs. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
2 times. He's checking. Go. You go tight. You got tight right there.
Taylor. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check tight.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Check 55 to Mike. It's our time. It's our time. Go. Slam.
Again, it's Fournette. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. Dobbs is throwing. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deshaun Hand picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Back to throw Dobbs. His throw incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Dobbs to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
The pickup of 6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
Set, lady.
They give to Johnson going right. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 49-yard line.
Set, 260.
44.
Johnson on the counter. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Let's go,
Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Tight end right, tight end right. Out. 3 down. Out.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Tight dog. Check.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
51's the mic. Go, Mike.
Operating from the gun, Dobbs. Looking long for Westbrook. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Calais Campbell able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, it was second and long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a third and long situation. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Dobbs. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Check safety, check safety. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no.
Now Leonard Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Josh Allen in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Here's Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Fournette. A gain of 3, second down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The open man is Westbrook. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jags, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire